Greetings. ¿Cómo está usted? Happy Saturday, the last day of February. To which I say, February? Go on, get. Go on, get. Is it daylight saving next week? It could be. Well, hello, Elaine Peterson. How are you? Katina Swatsworth, I just saw your email. I didn't open up the email yet. Hello, Jack. Nonstick Pam is here. And Miles Wright. Good to see you. Hi, Jack and everyone. Tammy with an I. Hello, Jack. Hello, everyone. Hello, world. That's what we're really saying, right? That was a show in the 70s with Ronnie Shell, who's still kicking. He goes to fan conventions. And Jody Baker. Don't know whatever happened to him, but it's probably not good. Well, if we knew Jesus, it's perfect. Hello, Donna. Fancy Nancy DeMarco, good evening. Lisa Slaughter is here. Hi, guys. Welcome, Nancy. I mean, Lisa. Welcome, Nancy, for that matter, but welcome, Lisa. Haven't seen you in a while, I don't think. Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi, is here. Hi, Jack. And we're starting off with 32 and 2 likes. What's to like so far, Deborah McGinty? Everybody say hello to Deborah McGinty. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to have you here on the live stream, Deborah. With a name like McGinty, your husband or you are Irish, or maybe both. I don't know. I got a little bit of the window, I won't say open, but, I can see some of it this time, and something flashing just went by. It was probably that guy in the trench coat. Helen McDonald from Australia. Nancy, and in memoriam, Terry Whitmore is here as well. Hi, hi, hi. What's going on with you guys? What's new in your world? We were just celebrating today that it was in the 50s and sunshine. The cats were loving it. We were out there a little bit, but any plans to really go out? I mean, the news was so strong and big that you kind of wanted to see what was going to happen, So I did not get to the CVS to pick up my prescriptions. Did not do any chores, but we were out on Friday. How is everything going with you, Marianne Rossi? It's our usual crew here. We did that promo from the porch. And we got a few newbies. We always do, but where are they now, I mean, a few of them you wouldn't want here, but, maybe they would simmer down, Neo. We never know what you're going to say next. Hello, and he's already talking about ads. You seem to have more ads than anyone, Neo. I wonder why. Wonder why. Good to have Julia Joyce here. And let's see. Go to my live screen. I mean, my personal page, the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. One of Bob Joyce's best friends, Phil Fox. Some of you who have been to the church have seen the Travelers perform. I think most of the people in the Travelers don't go to the church every week. Phil Fox is a frequent attender, though. And we're going to read you something that he said, so don't go away. You don't want to miss it. We'll comment on that, and we'll show you some pictures. I forgot to take them so you could see them off my phone real quick. And I certainly haven't sent any Phil Fox photos to Google Photos. But, Charlotte, yeah, all you guys and gals, when I lived in Rock Hill, just over the border, you used to come for cheaper gas in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and make me wait at the pump. See, I can yell loud because Bradford has not come home yet, even though I left the vent open for a little heat. What is it right now? I look at the temperature and it says 1 inch of snow. Or is that rain now? Tuesday? What are they talking about Tuesday? I hate the Tuesday. I can't get that line out of my head since the janitor in the terminal said, see me on Tuesday. So he thought he had an appointment at 9 a.m. Tuesday. And then when he waited in the terminal because he's living in the terminal. Tuesday finally comes. He's all excited. Maybe he'll get his, he accidentally threw, well, the janitor, they had fallen on the floor, his meal vouchers that they had given him. And he says, do you have an appointment? That's what he always says, the janitor. And he says, yes, Tuesday, Tuesday. He says, I hate the Tuesday. So obviously his meal vouchers had been long thrown out. So Phil Fox, we're going to talk about that. And I'll show you a couple of pictures of Phil. So let's go to that right now. Right now. This is part of what Phil said in a public post in one of the Facebook groups. You know, maybe the one Bob Joyce's Elvis or whatever. As you guys know, I don't follow any of them. But I believe this is Phil. I believe we have this right. I don't know why people want to try and out Pastor Bob as someone he doesn't want to be. If he was someone else, he left that behind to become who he is. Let him be who he is. Pastor Bob Joyce, he will never admit to being someone else. He is who he has become. It sounds profound, Phil, and you seem like a nice guy from what I've seen. It sounds profound, but there's other factors here. There's other factors. So many other factors. There are factors that contribute greatly to the attendance at Household of Faith, international travel. So, do you think that if someone would have walked up to Paul the Apostle after the road to Damascus and said, hi, Saul, he would have said, I'm not Saul. I'm not Saul. I'm Paul. Whoever Saul was is gone. I don't want to talk about Saul. I don't want to admit that I ever was Saul. You know, it's a little silly. It's a little silly. And by the way, it's the job of the press. Not me, but it's the job of the press. But the press don't care anything about Elvis Presley. Do you think Caitlin Collins gives a flip about Elvis Presley? No, she's all about getting Trump, getting Trump, getting Trump. Most of the young press, the XYZers, they don't know their arse from their elbow. So they don't care about Elvis Presley. That works for him. That works for him because all the press that did are retired or dead. Right? Think about all the great reporters we had before we were infested with these bugs, you know, that are not reporters at all. They have an agenda, just like the people running for office that are young. There are wonderful exceptions in all categories, in all categories. So, how direct do I have to be to answer that? Honestly, how direct? Um, People want to know if he's lying. He said he'd never been anybody but Bob Joyce. Say, I don't like to say this stuff, Phil, but since you asked, since you brought this, you know, like we're to blame, you know. It's fair to be curious it's fair to wonder about certain things, you know? And the fact that he's had, according to Bob Joyce, music.com, wonderful site, go to it. You can subscribe there for exclusive content. Um, According to LWC Media, in the last few months, he's gotten 33 million hits. Now, if there was no perception, would he have gotten anywhere near that? Oh, it's just because he's a great preacher. That's not true. That's not true. He's good. I enjoy him. I think he's better than ever. But we all know why he gets that kind of attention. And I think he wants to be successful. Who doesn't want to be successful? Who doesn't want to be successful? Oh, that Jack Willard, he's flapping his gums again. I get it. I get it. I don't want to be an annoying bug. I don't want to be a mosquito, but it's reasonable. It's reasonable um, because it's reasonable if someone were to work extra hard to uncover the truth because that would be their job as a reporter. You know, that wouldn't be wrong. They're just doing their job. People say all the time about the DNA. He's never going to give the DNA. You're never going to get his DNA and Elvis's DNA. Forget it. That ain't going to be the way. That ain't going to be the way. So, all I'm saying is that when one of the Elvis cousins says, "Say it louder, Bob Joyce," they do have a point because it was a little foggy. We're not mentioning the E word. It's been mentioned by Pastor Bob. He called himself Elvis once in a sermon. That's what it sounded like. Oh, he didn't even say Elvis. Those people, get out of here. Get out of here, you self appointed protectors. you know, um, we've played that sermon. People are going to ask me which one it is now and what's the date and all that. But, he was doing a little thing where God was talking to him and, you know, he should have said Bob and he said Elvis. What was it? Um, well, I can't remember at the moment, but yeah, he said Elvis. And he's over the years enjoyed joking about it. I used to I used to dance with my hips, but now I dance with my shoulders. I'm getting too old. And there's a plethora of more stuff. So he talks about it, he talks about it. And so it's just human nature. You're not a backslidden Christian if you are curious and if you find um the answer, what the real conclusion is, if you find that interesting. Obviously, a lot of people loved Elvis Presley. Those are the people that are in this audience, older people. It's not to say we know Aiden, who's just a teenager. I don't mean to say just a teenager down in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. He loves Elvis because his father played the records as he was growing up. And I guess now he's like 19, Aiden, and by now has started his own band. And his father is a musical conductor. That's Greg Pritchard. You can see the story of Greg and him going to Robert Wayne Joyce's house in Benton, Arkansas. And it's one of my most popular videos, I think 73,000, something like that, although I've got ones higher than that. But yeah, very interesting story. For some reason, not covered really by the mainstream media. But we have a documentary coming out, don't we? We have Nick Cage standing next to Pastor Bob Joyce. Of course. Does he fuel that by doing stuff like that, Phil Fox? I think he does. So let's take some pictures of you so people can see you. uh, yeah, I forgot to do that. There is Phil playing. I can't get the whole picture. I won't get the whole guitar. Kind of a fancy guitar like Elvis would play, but not not the same colors. So we'll come in here. And that's all I got to say about that. I'm not going to go on and on about it. All right. The Travelers. There's so many guys in the Travelers, I don't think I can get everybody. Let me see. Phil, you're looking the wrong way in this picture. Yeah. They've been to the church several times. Phil lives in North Carolina, and he posts photos of himself with Bob at the Nashville recording sessions. He is always flying into Arkansas to be at Household of Faith. That's Phil Fox, and we're back here in the live stream. Stop saying I couldn't believe it. I was watching the promo back that we did from the front porch about just before sunset. The sun was setting. I got a little bit of it setting, but it was going down quickly. And I said, it's been an horrendous weekend. And then I said it again. Of course, I meant an horrendous winter. Stuff like that scares me. Anybody new here? HLN. Headline news. I forgot to say it's Helen here. Oh, you have a new handle. YouTube has changed the way my name appears. That's interesting. Huh. I wonder why. How you doing, Jackie Oregon? Eddie Pendergrass. I think maybe you were here. We had a Pendergrass once before. And then I'm sure I asked you then if you were any relation to Teddy Pendergrass, the late, great Teddy Pendergrass. I would want to see Elvis Presley as Bob Joyce. And he said he was. Now I think you're saying be right back. I don't know. And he said he was. Yeah, well, anybody can have their perception. You can see it any way you want to. But I refer you to what I just said. Hello and shalom, Jack, and everyone else. Long time, haven't posted, though I've managed to listen from time to time. Can't bear to look at me, though, can you? It's 10:15 p.m. You're an hour ahead in Western Australia. That can't be right. 10:15? Isn't it early afternoon? That usually lines up that it's afternoon time. You don't have different time zones in Australia, do you? Actually, Paul, going to be a legalist now, huh? Kemi with an I. Also, Paul, although never came out and said he used to be Saul, he never denied who he used to be, a persecutor of Christians. Yeah, because not admitting who you were is lying by omission, period, says Tammy with an I. Any truth in that? Because what Phil said, I've heard at least 3, 4, or 5 dozen times since I've been doing the topic. It's not something I haven't heard before. It almost feels like wanting to have your cake and eat it too. So here's Phil. I never know how it's going to go when I do this live. Here's the travelers that come to Household of Faith and sing. At least one of them for sure is a church member. Love to hear them. Would love to hear them. So there you go. Your comments are welcome. And my personal email, jackthefairguy@gmail.com. jackthefairguy@gmail.com. So tomorrow is March the 1st. Very, very good. I'm happy about that. 80 watching right now. Please sign in. Let me know where you are watching from. Always love to know that. I'm not going to read your crazy comments, Neo. It's got to be a good one, or I'm not going to read it. Please subscribe, like, if you like anything at all. And I don't think we've done anything too outstanding, but and hit the notification bell. Sometimes, like this afternoon, we popped on to pop off and let you know what was coming up. Hi, Stephen Spielich. What's been going on with you, Stephen Spielich? Hello, Jack. I hope all is well. Yeah, more grace than I've ever deserved. More grace than I've ever deserved. I have a propensity to screw up. I have a propensity to take 2 steps up and 3 steps down. Done that all my life. We have new pictures behind me. My daughter's at the top, Kaylee. Pastor Bob Joyce preaching at Household of Faith at the barn, as they call it. Will there be need for another bigger space? That's a big question as to what we're talking about tonight, In order for there to be a need for, say, 3,000 seats, something would have to happen. If it's possible for it to happen. I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing, Phil. I know that. If I ever turn out to be wrong, everybody will have something to say then. But all along, I've said I speak of possibilities, and Pastor Bob is a chameleon if there ever was one. Now, I realize sometimes the confusion can be outside of the pulpit, that it's not who you think it is. Go to Wild New Bob Joyce video, for example. But then look at that Pastor Bob from 2011, talking and singing exactly like Elvis Presley in 2011. Chunkier and the eyes. Oh, dear. He was quite younger then, wasn't he? It's been a long time since 2011. I mean, I came here in 2010. I was 54 years old. I'm about to turn 70 in 3 weeks. It's unbelievable. Dalen, hello. And it's me, Brenda Noyce. So you were here last week and you never told us it was Brenda Noyce. We were asking about you. What happened to Brenda Noyce? So is Dalen somebody like your one of your children or grandchildren or something like that? Welcome back, Brenda. How are you feeling? How do you do? How do you do? My name is Sue. Hmm. Oh, really? Well, now you're spelling it differently than is in the heading. Is there two L's or one, Brenda? You should know. I've never heard that name. Am I saying it right? Dalen? It's not Dallin, right? Could be. Could be, what do you call that? See, I don't even know. And that's not because of memory. That's because I got a GED. I got a GD. I don't know. My math level is second grade, if that. Think of all those songs, Elaine Peterson, with eyes in the title. So many. Eyes like a prisoner. I didn't mean to go for the Bab Streisand song first. Yes, I told you I'm fine, Jack. Really? That's good. That's good. Because Lord knows you've had your share over the years. So that's good. And there was another point that I had there. Who knows where that went? I meant to go for the more clear glasses, but that's okay. It matches the bag over there, but you can't really see it. It's just been playing with the camera to try to get that just right. But sometimes you have to settle for, at least I got the on air sign this time. And we got Pastor Bob Joyce. Then on the third picture, see, I don't think I finished this. We've got David Hennessy at about 13 years old as either David Collins or Daniel Collins, or eventually he would play Tad, but this was before that. I think he was probably by then playing Daniel Collins. Nancy Barrett sitting on the sofa in the very first year of Dark Shadows, destroying the heart of Joe Carruthers because she's in the hotel room of Burke Devlin when he finds her there, and she's sitting drinking with a glare on her face. It was not a proud moment because he was devastated. He was devastated. Got Pastor Bob playing his guitar, and then we have Sandor Rakosi and his wife. Last name also Rakosi. Jeez. And that's Karen with a cowboy hat on down there with shades on. Magda. Oh, geez. Things like that. Magda Rakosi, Grayson Hall. Wonderful. Oh, those characters were a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Playing gypsies, they were. Mm-hmm. So let's see here. Yeah, I was going to get to that. And thanks for reminding me, Jackie, who plays the Hammond organ, by the way. It is absolutely terrible to hear that just yesterday morning, Friday morning, Neil Sedaka went to the hospital because he didn't feel well. I don't know how long he had been feeling not himself. Sometimes, we all hate to go to the hospital. We go into denial, we're okay, everything will be fine. It will pass, it will pass. And you have to wonder if when he first started feeling bad, they could have done something for him. We haven't heard from the family, I don't think, exactly what it was. But Neil Sedaka was a legend. I got to see him at the New Jersey State Fair with cousin Brucey, and the love for this man was phenomenal. When he hit the stage, he can do no wrong. He can do no wrong. He wrote 800 songs. He wrote many of those 800 songs for other people. Obviously, he didn't have 800 hits, but he wrote a lot of songs that other people covered and picked up. And of course, his big comeback record in the 70s began with Laughter in the Rain. Prior to that, in the 70s, the real comeback for Neil Sedaka being on the charts was he wrote the first hit for the Captain and Tennille, Love Will Keep Us Together. He was a hit machine. And love will keep us together. But in the case of Captain and Tennille, it didn't. But she was by his side when he was passing away. So that was really nice. I don't know. So many of his album cuts are great. He wrote Solitaire, which was a big hit for the Carpenters, but also he had it out as a single as well. I like when he took the early, in his career, 60s song, Breaking Up Is Hard to Do, and then in the 70s brought it back as a ballad and did justice to it in every way, shape, and form. What is the situation with Pastor Bob and Gene Ho, Lisa? Well, we've been talking about that for weeks. I got some videos up on it. I don't think I want to go through the whole story now, but if you have a specific question, I'll try to answer it. You know, the situation is probably that it's not. Bob has not really responded. He certainly hasn't responded the way Gene Ho wanted him to respond, and so I at this point don't see any light into in the tunnel unless something's happened I don't know about. You know, it's going to stay that way. It's going to stay that way. Who has the most to lose? It's certainly not Pastor Bob. It's certainly not Pastor Bob. I mean, be real. Jay Pogera, Jack, I hope you're doing well. The show wouldn't be the same without you. Well, yeah, there'd be kind of like nobody sitting in a chair. I've never had a fill-in host. Hey, Phil, you could be my fill-in host. Oh, that could go bad for me, though. M.M. Staten is here. Good evening, Jack. And I bet you do a good job. I'm just saying, it might not be good for me. M.M. Staten, good evening, Jack. You obviously are a media person. So I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to talk to you. We can talk on the phone. If you have Zoom capabilities, we could do that. Yes, the Neil Sedaka and his Dario, was it? Darius Sedaka? Duet. I vaguely remember it. I certainly remember Bad Blood, the duet between him and Elton John. That was a huge hit. Mr. Slim Jiggy is here. Hello there, Mr. Slim Jiggy. Hi, everybody. Good to have you, M.M. Staten, as well. I saw a Neil Sedaka in concert with the Carpenters. Oh, he actually he did a show with them. I did not know that. That's wonderful. Oh, that would have been fantastic to see. I can't imagine. Only saw him that one time, Chubby Checker was also in that same show, and a few others. Chubby was sensational as well. Looks so young and just amazing. He talk about maintaining a look. Talk about that. I used to do 10, but now I've switched to 9 because more people seem to like that, especially on Saturday night, but I think Wednesday night too. So I realized at some point that the audience preferred 9, so I thought 9 is the thing to do. I was just trying to get more of a Saturday night with Karen, and same thing on Wednesday. Jack, you're circling at times. Well, at least on your $3 cable service I am, or your Wi-Fi, I should say. Anybody else think I'm circling? Will it go around in circles? Billy Preston and his afro. Yeah, and his gold tooth. So during COVID, Neil Sedaka, either from his New York apartment where he had a exotic bird, maybe a macaw, must have had somebody there because he wasn't in New York a lot, especially when COVID started to get bad. He said, I'm going to LA. It's a wider space there, the house, and, it's also warmer. I'll go there. And so he would do these mini concerts almost 4 or 5 days a week. He would do them right here on YouTube, and other sites would broadcast it, and he would do 3 or 4 songs. And you could request for a future show like that. And it was really great. I saw a lot of those, and he was always good because he had such a catalog of songs. Some of his best stuff were not the singles. I'm trying to think of an example of that. But I can just tell you, when I heard them, I knew I was hearing something special. So he was just an all and out nice guy. His wife's name was Liba, and there's just some people that should live forever, and one of them was Neil Sedaka. Pat Boone, who's still kicking at 93 years old, was devastated as he spoke about Neil the night of his passing. You could tell that they were really good friends, and that he knew that the world had lost an icon, and he looked forward to seeing him again in the next life. Cousin Brucey, I didn't get to hear any of his show tonight, but I'm sure he and you can go to the WABC.com archives and hear the show with my ex-radio boss, the legendary Cousin Brucey, who's 91 years old and still going. And he had him on a number of his shows throughout the years. They worked together a lot. Cousin Brucey would have like four acts and play a big arena every year at least once as the MC. Yeah. One of a kind, Neil Sedaka. So he was watching American Idol a number of years ago and liking what he was seeing, and he called them up. He said, "Hi, this is Neil Sedaka. I just wanted you to know I like the show and I'd like to be on." And they said, "Yeah, right. Who is this?" And I guess somehow they verified that, and they said, "Call you back in an hour." They called him back in an hour and said, "You're on 2 weeks from today, and all the contestants are going to sing Neil Sedaka songs." Wish I would have seen that episode, but I didn't. I heard about it later. You can probably find it. You can probably do that. Yeah. Gloria Drummond, how are you? She's having ads, so she's not hearing a thing I'm saying. Oh, man. 84 watching. Route 84 is right up the road there. Yeah. Am I going to make it to Buffalo, New York on April 6th, he said? Not April Fool's Day. So I was trying to fool you. April 6th is Dingus Day, very big in the Polish community and certainly very big in Buffalo. And Polka Sean and Polka Norm are going up there with a few members of the Jimmy Sturr Band who will be playing a gig Sunday, the day prior. Dingus Day is always on a Monday, the first Monday of the month. And people come from everywhere. So I'd like to be part of it. It's a 5-hour drive for me, and Karen ain't going to make it. She ain't going to make it. So what can I tell you? And since I would want to see the Sunday gig, and then Jimmy will perform about 5-6 o'clock at night under a very big tent, which will be jammed. And so it's a 2-nighter. I could drive back Monday night, and if I get tired, I just stop at a rest stop. I'd have to stay over Saturday night and Sunday night, and the budget is very limited, so we shall see. But I'd like to do that. Never been there. Usually so temperature-wise, I hope they, for once, could have a warm Dingus Day. I know it's Western New York, and it's more likely to be cool. By the way, I do have the TV on to see if there's anything new. FBI raises the counter-terror teams to high alert. I think we got this pretty much under control, despite what certain people would say that just hate everything that the president does. He's gotten so much praise. And the contrast of L.A. and New York. In L.A., the uh, the Arabian Arab people, Muslims, are dancing in the streets of LA. They're so happy that that awful Ayatollah who's butchered so many of the Iranian people is gone. Sadly, he brings his granddaughter to be with him at work. Why would you do that? There's a price on your head, so you bring your. It's not a good time for bring the grandbaby to work day, but he did, sadly. But we got we got dozens of the top people. They were all having a meeting. So when word got out that that was going to happen, the president said it's going to be daylight, but we got to act. We got to act. Now is the time. And they made no secret, and I'm not going to go into big politics here. They made no secret that they wanted to take out the United States as soon as humanly possible. We stopped them once, and they already were getting back to work, assembling at least missiles and working on the nuclear program. And you can't trust a word they say, but there's some really good people there, and they deserve a life where he killed 35,000 protesters in recent months, just mowed them down like they were nothing. So, no, it's a really good thing to get rid of that evil man. And hopefully things will get better, but it's way too early to tell. Seems like a lot of musicians and actors are passing. The older ones, yeah, I suppose that's true. I suppose that's true. Let me go down to the bottom here. Jack, I could not agree more. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where we're not trying to be the world's policeman, but this was someone who had directly threatened the United States. And when you're the big guy on the block and you do see a humanitarian crisis like has been going on there, you got to do something about it. Canada isn't going to do anything about it. Britain says, well, we had absolutely nothing to do with this, but we've said for a long time that they needed to go. Well, that's fine. But President Trump actually put feet to his words, and so did Israel. I imagine Tucker Carlson is saying it's horrendous. I don't know why Tucker is doing that. I love Tucker Carlson. I want my Tucker back. I think somebody has taken his body. I don't understand this. Candace, it's not hard to figure out. She was fired by Turning Point in 2022. Did she have a crush on Charlie? Erica comes along, sweeps Charlie off his feet. So she's doing her series now. I hope they're able to get her legally on something, because what she's doing is blatant character assassination unless she can back it up. So we'll see what happens. Once you start getting 1 million, 2 million hits on your video, 3 million and 6 million subscribers, that is addicting. That is very addicting. Huh. Gloria keeps getting ads. Bayou Girl is here. Okay. Pat Boone once said he wouldn't even kiss a co-star on screen unless he had permission from his wife. I guess that's fair. You reminded me of a controversy back when Amy Grant released her first pop hit that wasn't for the contemporary Christian format. Baby, baby, da 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 da. That was a big hit, and it was a breakout hit because now she was on the regular pop charts and, had a bigger audience than ever. But in the video, she was kissing on another man that was not her husband. Now, at the time, I think she was married to husband number one, Gary. Gary, what's his name? He's tall and skinny, also a contemporary Christian singer. Gary. And then she married Vince Gill, right? Vince Gill. So I'm not sure if she was married to Vince or the first guy. but the Christian community came alive and said, "You can't be kissing on somebody that's not your husband." And she said the song was really about her baby, but the video didn't indicate that she had had a baby. So I think we're going to Vince Gill time. Did she have one with Gary? I don't think so. No, Gary. I want to say Paxton, but I don't know that that's right. Gary Paxton sounds right, and he had his own show on the Nashville network. I remember that. He did seem like an affluent man. I mean, not an affluent man, but a what's the word that's similar to that? He was engaging. Certainly, he was engaging. But you never know what somebody is like when the camera goes off. I could be, I could be putting on my mask and gloves and headed out to wreak havoc after midnight. Yeah, that would go well for me. Gary Chapman, thank you. Hey, very good. Did you look it up or did you know? Was married to Amy Grant? That's right. Absolutely, Gary Chapman. No doubt about it. Lovely Rita Maid is here. And Eddie, did you ever answer my question? Are you related to Teddy Pendergrass? Pat Boone did some what? He had some hits, that's for sure. Love letters in the sand. He was tickled pink that his next door neighbor, Ozzy Osbourne, when Ozzy began his reality show, which was great, uh, chose to use his version of, which was a semi hit or a big hit for Pat Boone. I can't remember his version, not the rock version, for his reality show. And Ozzy always wanted to talk to Pat Boone. He said it was a little rough because of Ozzy's language, but he found him to be a very warm, sincere guy and someone he could count on as a neighbor. He'd give you the shirt off his back, you know. And he would preach a little bit to him, Pat. He would. And the funny thing was, you see Ozzy late in his career, before he goes on stage, he's making the sign of the cross. So the whole, just like with Gene Simmons and just like probably with Judas Priest and all that, it's just something they're using as a hook. But really, Ozzy did not consider himself the Prince of Darkness. I think he was a man of faith when he passed away. I'm pretty sure about that. With all his foibles. Vicky Weaver, hi. She came back. I'm not sure what you're saying, Vicky. What are you saying there? Miss Slaughter, I didn't really answer too much of your question. It's a complicated story, I'd have to go through the whole story again. And if you look in some recent videos, you'll see it. Honest Talk video. That's where we play Gene Ho for the first time. An open video to Pastor Bob Joyce. So watch that one. I took it down, but then I realized I didn't want to fuel the fire. But then for context, because then Gene made a second video, an accusation where he's inferring that one of the church members who did something wrong and got caught in a sting many miles from the church, that was Pastor Bob's fault too. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're not a mind reader. You're not a surveillance detective. Just that was. If you can't apologize for anything, apologize for that one. But Christians just double down. They double down, like they're at the casino. Let's see here. I better check my email. I'm hearing dings here, and we'll see what we got. Someone named Frankie. Let me look at the picture first. Yeah, that's a better picture. That's from Bob Joyce official. That is a much better. I remember that picture too. Are you in the Traveler, sir? Okay. Let me see what you said without reading it out loud. Okay. Those emails are private unless you don't want them to be. All right. Right away, I know that you don't want your name. Did I say the first name? There's a lot of those in the world, though, aren't there? Everybody loves a good mystery. There's Elaine Peterson hitting the Cash App. Thank you so much, Elaine Peterson, for a love tip. We have a virtual tip jar. There's two ways to give on the virtual tip jar. Elaine Peterson hits the Cash App for $10. My Cash App handle, lowercase letters, Media Guy 56, Media Guy 56. I say that about 53 minutes in. I'll write that down in the comments section. But thank you, the very faithful Elaine Peterson, for hitting the Cash App for $10. The other way is to hit the thanks button. First, sometimes you have to hit the button that says ask. I don't know why. And then that'll bring you to the thanks button. And that's very much appreciated as well, people that do it that way. So, okay. We're back. Well, Pat Boone, Eddie Pendergrass did a metal album. He did, but in the big band style. He sang songs, and that gave him a lot of heat on the Trinity Broadcasting Network when he announced he was going to do a metal album. Of course, he was very careful and selective of the songs he chose to use. But I remember the Pat Boone metal album. And now William Shatner is doing a 35-song metal album. He's going to have the lead singer of Deep Purple on there. At least he was when they had their hits, Richie Blackmore. The lead singer, I think, of Iron Maiden and a few others will be guesting on the Bill Shatner album. Now, the last time Bill did an album, William Shatner, Mr. Shatner to me, I think he talked the songs, just like Telly Savalas did when he did an album, you know. Telly Savalas reciting the song If by Bread. I remember that. That was the single. Jack, we're back. I never knew you left. Okay. Thank you, Elaine, for hitting the Cash App. I'll write that down here. It's the last day of the year. We're a little short of our minimum budget. Okay. There it is right there, Media Guy 56. That's the Cash App handle. As I said last show, I got the taxes done, and we're about $249 in the whole total, but that includes the fee that she charges, and that's it was a very fair fee. I shall say that. Love Anna, my tax lady. She's very thorough, and that's good. Ozzy was given a Bible by a fan, and it became a prized possession he kept with him. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, Ozzy was a good guy. Kadena Swatsworth says Gene Ho should not have made those videos. I agree with you. Pat Boone recently wrote and sang a song for his dog, Buddy, who passed away. It's on his YouTube channel. Very beautiful. That's nice. So what were you saying again, Vicky Weaver? Who came back up or whatever? What was that about? How you doing, Gloria? Who was a true husband indeed? Scott Peterson? That was a joke. Let's see. Boy, I didn't know Superman, who's in ice now. Did you know Superman's in ice? Yeah, he's an ice agent. He played Scott Peterson, and he played in Lois and Clark. And his name is, jeez, Kane, Dean Kane. There's hope for me yet. Dean Kane. He's done a lot of stuff, but he was perfect for Scott Peterson. And he got that look at the right time, that the most scary Scott Peterson look. Having said that, some people think he's innocent. He may get another trial. Love Dean Kane, Ice Agent Dean Kane. Imagine that. Goes on Jesse Waters from time to time. Jesse likes him. 74 watching right now, 32 likes. So those pictures. See, I never know. That's there you go. The Travelers. And there's Bob Joyce, Pastor Bob Joyce, in the corner with them. Yes, I know people that say don't hold something up from your phone. It works a lot better in a pre-recorded. Now, explain the technical, Neo, explain the technical reason for that. Why, if I hold it up to camera in a pre-recorded video, it's better than if it was live. Give me your expertise. Okay. Love to see them perform sometime. The Lord is not willing, or you're saying it a different way. The Lord is willing that none should perish, but that all will come to repentance. Amen. Don't tell me we got a picture of Elaine. That's impossible. She never shows her picture. Dean Kane's been on Newsmax a lot, really. Yeah, he only comes on Fox usually with Jesse Waters. He might come on with Laura Ingraham. They're all on tonight, Let's see what's going on here. Iran state media confirms Ayatollah's death. Well, from the department of, we already knew that department. They're dancing in the streets in Iran. Not the hardcore fundamentalists, though. So anyway, the gentleman that sent me another picture of the Travelers says, that you can't really complain about something that is talked about at the church, is joked about by the pastor, and has led to such tremendous success. You can't really complain about that. And you can't blame someone if, they get definitive proof. The things I speak about are possibilities. This is the alleged funeral card for Lisa Marie Presley. It's a little better when I roll it into a thumbnail, but his name is definitely in there, as is Tom Presley. Listed as the person who officiated the private funeral. Don't think I'm talking about the public memorial. He preached opposite the public memorial. The private funeral, which was the Saturday after that, it wasn't a Sunday, had to be a Saturday or a Friday or something. Couldn't be a Sunday. He preached opposite the public memorial. But Saturday, TMZ said it was going to happen, but then they never did a follow-up story, which I always have thought was very interesting indeed. Sandra Fair, hey Jack, maybe I'm alone in this, but I don't always hear Elvis's voice when Pastor Bob sings. Right, I think he can alter his voice. And also it's getting different. He's never going to sound like he did when he sang "One Night with You is now what I'm praying for." Oh, isn't that terrible? He has to get God in there to a song about a one night stand. Elvis wasn't thinking back then, though. See? You're praying for a one night stand. He was young. Give him a break, Sandra. Hey, Jack, maybe I don't always hear Elvis' voice. I don't either. But I can hear Pastor Bob when I listen to Elvis singing. Well, that's interesting. That doesn't make much sense now, does it? Well, it's a complicated story. I give you a pass, Sandra. I give you a pass. Tammy says, yes, who? Been on Finnerty, Carl Higbee, and Rob Schmidt's show. He told them in August he was an ICE agent. Oh, you're talking about Dean Cain. Yeah. But he's not full-time because he still does some work in films and what have you, the kind of films that it's really hard to find usually. Oh, it's great rock and roll. He could not sound like he sounded in Hound Dog anymore. We know that. If that's actually him. I'm just saying. I speak of possibilities. Oh, here's a technical explanation from the closer the brightness. Oh, yeah, you're going to say I should turn down my brightness. The closer the brightness of the phone is to the ambient light in the room, the better the picture shows up. Well, I asked for an explanation and you gave me one, Neil. I don't have, those professional lights that some people have. I would like to have them, but I've just got regular lamps, We're a cheap operation here. No green screen. $70 people watching right now. Glad you're doing good, Brenda Noyce. Is Hobdob here? I think I just passed by. So that's how it is. You're going to get your passport, huh? Wow. I haven't even gotten the enhanced license yet. And if I do go see my son, he would want me to fly, and because every other way makes no sense at all. He doesn't want me driving 1,800 miles. It's a little more than that, so almost 4,000 round trip. He doesn't want me doing that. Here we go. Flying makes the most sense, so have to get that enhanced license because when you don't have it, they make you pay, what is it, $45 more each way. Uh, they penalize you and they put you through a longer checkout. You got to stand in a longer line and what have you. They make you regret not doing it. It's nonsense because when you got your original license, you showed your birth certificate and everything like that. I'm forgetting what else is needed for the enhanced license, but it's a money maker. It's a money generator. Well, I don't know, Gloria. Maybe you want to fly somewhere, or are you just a homebody now? I try not to tell myself, like the guys next door. Oh, we used to do that. So you retired to do nothing, at least one of them, and then being sedentary leads to pain issues and not getting your basic testing done can lead to catastrophe or oncoming catastrophe which will make it so you don't want to travel, can't travel, that kind of thing. You want to fly, yeah, that's the way to go. That's the way. Uh-huh, uh-huh. I like it. KC looking a lot better these days after I shamed him in a video. Like I'm someone to talk, about fitness and eating right. It's not my going to be my go-to subject, I don't think. And what else? I don't know. I don't always have 2 hours of rattling on material, but oh, Neil, sometimes it's a swing and a miss. It's a swing and a miss. Oh, check this out. Iran state media, most intense offensive operation on Israel and U.S. bases to begin in moments. Haven't we knocked all their capabilities out for those kind of things? That should have been first on the list. Talking to Sean Hannity, who's going into a second hour, apparently. He loves it. He loves it down there in West Palm Beach in his multi-million-dollar home. Looks like he's in a studio, but he's in his home studio. Does his radio show from that area too. So they missed one big one in Tel Aviv and slammed into an apartment building. But, the air raid signs have been going off for a while. There's warning time, but they still managed to kill one and hurt a bunch of people because the Iron Dome is not 100%. So we should be able to stop them now. And they should know that they're digging their own grave if they keep doing that, because we have the power to absolutely obliterate them. We can go all Vladimir Putin on him, but even he hasn't, gone for the nukes or he could have done more damage in Kiev when I was growing up. So I don't know why he hasn't, but that is now entering its fifth year. Can you believe that? Its fifth year. Those people are never going to be able to go back to the Ukraine. They're never going to be able to go back there, those that are in Hungary and Poland. So how does that end? Anytime President Trump would say, I think we're getting close, I would say, don't say that, Mr. President, because Vladimir Putin's different. He's different. He's very stubborn. He is. Jack, just watch air disasters on TV. I have before flying to Texas. Oh, I've seen many of episodes of that. Yeah. But it's still the safest form to travel. I mean, you got the XYZers out in those roads, and terrible things happen. And of course, you've got truck truckers, and some of them are illegal, who can't read basic road signs and have killed a bunch of people. So there's new laws being enacted on that. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But yeah, it's it's still the safest form of travel. Well, thank you, Deborah McGinty. It's been a little slow here today on the thanks button, to say the least. You're the first one, so thank you. And I'm not saying that for the people that give all the time. Take a break. I totally understand that. But thank you so much, Deborah McGinty. $20 on the thanks button. And you find that at the bottom of your screen. This is our last day of February, our last chance to close a little bit of a gap. And when I say a little bit of a gap, I mean for the bare minimum. The bare minimum. And the other way is Cash App, which is Media Guy 56, lowercase letters Media Guy 56. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you. Real, you were here the other show. Real Joe, Texas, or is it Realtor Joe, Texas? Now I got it. Realtor Joe, Texas. Do you make the big money selling the homes there, Realtor Joe? Huh. Did you see Epic yet? No. I'll probably wait till it gets to the platforms. Has it got to the platforms yet on like Prime Video? If they throw it up on Netflix, I won't see it because I don't plan on getting that, or Apple TV. Just try to not waste my money, on platforms. There's only so many hours in the day, and I don't need to spend it all staring at a screen. This is a tool, or it's a form of entertainment, but not something you want to do all the time. You're watching Hannity too. Jonathan Turley is on. There he is. I see him. I love Jonathan Turley. Dems want war powers vote on Iran. Of course they do. Of course they do. Their conduct at the State of the Union, first of all, the 73 that didn't show up should be severely fined, although we certainly didn't miss them. It was funny. They're we're going to have this wall of white again, but half of them didn't show up. So you had spotty white, a few white pantsuits there, a few white pantsuits here. It just didn't have any impact. White, the color of the flag when you want to surrender, Here's Mike Pompeo coming on now, looking good. He wants to get back in the Trump administration. I know he does, but, Trump has a memory, and although he'll give you a second chance when it's something he would say severe, he doesn't want to do it. So I don't see that happening. I wish somebody would hire Rob Blagojevich, because he probably needs the money. He's a good spokesman. They tried to nail him over a joke. They put him in jail for like 7-8 years till Trump got him out and pardoned him. 7 or 8 years he sat in jail because he made a joke. I ought to get something for this Senate seat. He wasn't being serious. He wasn't going. If he had done that, that would be different. But that's how it works. That's how it works in politics. Sometimes they'll try to nail you. So thank you, Deborah, for hitting the thanks button, and any amount is fine, whether it be $1, $2, $3, or $1,000 if you've been watching me. But if it's going to be that, please go Cash App. That would be the better way to go. All right. Let's see here. I think I've got it. I like Rob. Who's Rob? Rob Petrie? Dick Van Dyke? I had breakfast this morning with my millionaire friend who just sold his realty business. He's a widow and helps a lot of people financially. So nice. That's very nice. Yeah. Pay it forward. Pay it forward. That's the thing to do. If you can do that, and even if you're of, minimal means, there'll be opportunities for you to find a way to pay it forward. Many people that have a lot of money hold on to it so tightly, Karen says, yeah, I said, "You're so beautiful, you could have found a very rich man, you know." She said, they don't want to share it. You just found the wrong guys, you know. Because what happens is couples that don't have a lot of money, um, they end up having children that they can't really afford, and all of a sudden, they've one of them retires from their job, at least until the kids are of a certain age. And I think a mother should be home with her child. I agree. That's what I did for Karen. I worked, not for Karen. That's what I did with my first wife. I worked lots of overtime and a second job as well because didn't want strangers bringing up our kids, and of course the price of daycare, especially now, you end up giving half of it away, which is no good. Neo's being crazy again. I see that silly comment, Neo. We're missing some people tonight. Ah. So we thanked Elaine for hitting the Cash App, and here's Tammy doing it again for your budget. Thank you, Tammy. Tammy, I don't want to share what you've shared with me, but she works hard for the money. She works hard for the money. She's still working, and she's essentially sharing her tips with me, which I don't feel good about. But she hits the Cash App for $25, and I thank you very, very much. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I didn't even know you were here, June Joyner. Thank you. That's a very nice picture of you there, holding your cheek like this. And she hits the Cash App as well. I never know if people want me to say this and say the amount. But so I'm not sure. Sometimes I think people cringe, and I don't mean to do that. Thank you, June Joyner, for hitting the Cash App. I really appreciate that. You, Tammy, and Elaine. Thank you. Let's see here. What's Nutra Healthy? Oh, it's a bunch of. It's a bunch of. Maybe it's only one, but people shared it. Um, People always have stuff like Fatty 15 that Dr. Drew is hawking is supposed to be very good for you. An exclusive expert in brain health reveals evil protein is literally killing the memory of 200 million Americans. Learn how to solve it below. All right. I see what you're doing. You're sending me on an expedition, but I will check that out. If it feels right, I'll keep watching. If it doesn't, I won't. Yeah, because I get a lot of that. I do, but I appreciate the intent. You you want to be open to anything that could really solve the problem, which I have not been diagnosed with yet. We'll see what happens in the month of April after I see my neurologist on March the 30th. I wish Tucker would go back to having a more constricted format because Mike Huckabee said he didn't even recognize the man who came up to interview him at the Israeli airport. He didn't. It was just like a different persona. Although on camera, of course, it's he's trying to be diplomatic and apologize. He actually said, "Tucker, I hate Christian Zionists," and he apologized for that. But the fact that it was in you to say that is very surprising to us Tucker fans. Very surprising. Well, look at that. Miles Wright, and he does this just about every week in his taxi cab yellow. Hits the thanks button for $9.99. Thank you, Miles Wright. Thank you. Thank you. I hope that's well within your budget. Thank you, Miles and Judy Wright. Appreciate that. So that helps us push us to to the bare minimum for the month of February. When I say the bare minimum money, I just need to keep the lights on and to obviously you think things are okay in the expense department, then all of a sudden you've got to pay $172 and change a month to CVS so you can get your Camzyos for the year because they're paying most of it, but they're not paying all of it. I'm talking about my Silver Script Teamsters Local 237 insurance. There's a much bigger copay than there used to be, but since I've also have a maximum that they can take out in a year, and they count that even though I'm paying monthly, they count that as I've already done it in its entirety. Anything I get this month, I don't have to pay. Anything I get this year, I don't have to pay a copay on. So six one, half dozen of the other, I suppose. It's getting chilly in here now. 34 degrees is what they say. Make that 32 degrees. John Fetterman, what a wonderful guy he turned out to be. He's got to switch to the other aisle. I get worried when I hear people like Congressman Bryan from the great state of Florida running for Attorney General of Florida because, well, in Florida, you got a good shot at a Republican replacing him. But nothing's guaranteed. Please, Texas, please do not put Jasmine Crockett in the Senate. Please. I think we're all going to be okay. The guy who's running is known in the state of Texas, but nothing's guaranteed with the free stuff crowd. And there's been a lot of early voting. This is a primary. This is a primary now, so it is time to vote. But that mail-in ballot stuff can lead to cheating. It really, really can. Oh, the rich man, Rita says, plays for everybody to eat at the diner once a month, like 40 people. Very nice of him. Sure. And look at that. Nancy DeMarco. I heard a sound. Nancy DeMarco from Oklahoma. Now, is March hurricane season, Nancy? Someone was saying that in the email, or maybe it was Facebook Messenger. Could have been Kelly, who I never see here, but certain people I see, but I don't see them on the channel. I'm still waiting for Robert Wozniak, who I've been talking to for years, to actually show up for a live broadcast or even comment in a pre-record. He's never seen me. So that's him. But he'll tell you about the latest person faking their death. And it's always somebody important. It's never, somebody that was the third name down in a sitcom. So thank you, Nancy DeMarco. The big 777, God's perfect number of completion. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. June Joyner, Elaine Peterson, and Tammy with an I for also hitting the Cash App. I see you there, Nancy. There you are. So you're not mad at me after all. And that story that, was upsetting to you, not just because of me, but because of the story in general. Unless there's an update, someone asked for the whole story tonight. That's, just check out the videos. They're I think you'll be able to tell just by the title. Let me go to my video list here. Click on videos. Bob Joyce Church Under Fire. That's got 3,700 video viewers plus. Thank you for that. Keep it going. Like to get to 4,000 and beyond. I could use a really hot video, but I'm not going to, try to trick you to get it. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to steal all of Pastor Bob Joyce content because he's nice enough not to challenge it. Somebody else might challenge it, though. We'll see. It also related to this is Bob Joyce done with George Magazine? Right now, the answer is a definite yes, unless God does something. 1800. Bob Joyce controversy honest talk with a picture of Bob and Gene Ho together in happier times. Also, that's got 2,100 views. Also, you might be interested in two Bob Joyce's finally caught together. Shocking. Matt Joyce is in there too, 4,700 views. Elvis death footage fake, question mark, 2,400 views. Beware of Bob Joyce topic doublespeak. It speaks for itself. That's got 2,000 views. And let's see. Bob Joyce says he is Robert Wayne Joyce. So we show early picture of Robert Wayne Joyce. That's got 4,400 views, 4,400. Here's one of my hotter videos from the last few months. Why Bob Joyce may be forced to say he is Elvis in 2026. 6,200 views and counting. 6,200. Is Bob Joyce ready to say more in 2026? 3,600. Excuse me. Shocking statement. Bob Joyce, concert attendee, who was a journalist, by the way, says the quiet part out loud. 5,600 plus views. Bob Joyce, amazing info. Alabama concert. Talking about Coleman, Alabama last summer, 2,300. So I guess, tickets are still available. Hold on, please. Got a tickle. Tickets are still available from for the Bob Joyce concert. Was it May 22nd, a Friday night, about 20 some miles outside of Little Rock, Arkansas. You would fly into Little Rock, Arkansas, then all carpool, Uber together from your hotel in Little Rock. Or are you going to stay in Cabot, Cabot, Arkansas? There's still tickets available that are general admission. But the VIP seating, which probably will include a meet and greet, is already sold out. Do I have that right? If not, please correct me, but that's what I read. They don't say anything about a meet and greet in what I read, but I'm assuming that'll happen. I think it's a pretty big sanctuary at the Baptist Church in Maine. And once again, I am playing Try to Open the Cough Drop. Do I have my scissors here? That would make it a lot easier. Yeah. It's just weird. All right, we'll do it that way. My personal email is jackthefairguy@gmail.com. Jack the F-A-I-R guy, F-A-I-R guy at gmail.com. Ugh. Let's see here. So several of our videos surrounding Coleman, Alabama, including some roll-in video, breaking Bob Joyce live in Alabama. We have pictures of the Thursday meet and greet. Bob Joyce sings Elvis again, 2,800 views. And big adventures at the Bob Joyce Church, 3,400 views. That's Belinda Taylor in that cameo, in that thumbnail. Belinda Taylor, Big Adventures at Bob Joyce Church. And there's many more. I think there's about 370 some videos up right now. Not all of them have Bob Joyce in the title or talk about Bob Joyce, but the most successful ones obviously do. Thank you again, Miles Wright, for hitting the thanks button for $9.99. And thank you so much, Deborah McGinty, for hitting it for $20. Very, very nice. Very, very nice as we close out the month of February. Jack, you are the best. You've tried the rest, now try the best. Julia asking a question to Elaine. Have you been there, Elaine? That's a good-looking chap. He really, really is. He looks just like his brother Tom. Does he look like Bob? No. Does he look like Robert Wayne Joyce? Yes. Oh, I'm just being bad. Absolutely not mad. Absolutely not mad. To prove it, I'll be sending you some coconut milk laced with strychnine. Just discussing an issue with a friend. So I don't want to open up an old wound, but email me your conclusions, how it will affect things in the future and anything you would want to say. Don't say something you don't want to say. The corrupt politicians. Yeah. We're in commercial on the Fox News channel. Jack, I'm glad to do it and don't mind if you say it. $50 from June Joyner. Thank you very much on the Cash App. It all adds up that way, see? And just like the thanks button does. So we close the month in a good position. It's a short month, 28 days. 28 days, and here comes the month of March. I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready. I'll close out the month finally seeing the neurologist. If I was willing to go down to Westchester, which I'm not, I already go down there twice a year to see my cardiologist and have my testing. But neurologists are hard to see. Thank you, Gloria. I thank you very much on that. Because you do want to get it in the early stages, So we heard from Carolyn Mullins. See, that came to me pretty quick. Carolyn Mullins, last show, Wednesday night. And, it's a struggle. She's got the frontal lobe dementia. So please keep Carolyn Mullins in your prayers. Imagine you're holding your husband the side of the bed and he goes into cardiac arrest. Your son rushes in, does CPR, and in front of you, in front of both of them, he passes away. Imagine that. Gloria says, my man wouldn't have to have a lot of money. $500,000 would be fine. Just love and happiness. Yeah. Well, that old saying, money doesn't buy happiness, is not true. Come on. Think about what you're saying. Money doesn't buy the peace of God. I absolutely agree with that. Many millionaires are miserable because they don't have the peace of God, But having money can, oh, yes, nice trip to a warm climate when it's freezing here, paying it forward. Isn't that pleasurable to be able to bless those who blessed you, bless your kids? Don't want to spoil them rotten, though. Don't want to spoil them rotten when they're young. That's not good. People like Mick Jagger say kids aren't getting the money. And I think, well, that's a little extreme. Put it in a trust where they can only get so much at a time. But, don't give your kids nothing. Several celebrities have said that. We're still in commercial. Here comes Hannity. I only know what's put up on the screen as a headline, and right now there's nothing. He's wearing a tie, though, because this is serious. President Trump has been willing to do what's right and necessary to produce real peace in the region. God bless the United States of America and Israel. That is Senator John Fetterman, who, if you look back long ago, I said, how could we elect this man to the Senate and not Dr. Oz? Well, Dr. Oz has got a nice job in the administration, and John Fetterman is about the most sensible, fair, responsible Democrat out there, who were just, what a moment it would have been if when they wouldn't stand, when they were asked the question about voter ID, or when the grieving mother who had her daughter had been stabbed multiple times. Wouldn't it be a great theater if he would have got up and did this to all the Democrats sitting there, and then went like that, and then went and sat over on the other side? That'd be good theater right there. But it didn't happen. Maybe it will. Wow. Wow, man. Wow. Crazy, right, Gloria? I just don't understand. I don't understand. But this is the product, the younger people anyway, it's the product of coming from a home with no values and what have you. Oh, man, there were so many wonderful Democrats back in my day. When you say that, you're getting old, right? Do you know how much I loved George McGovern back in 1972? I had my McGovern button on. I was only 16. I couldn't vote for him, but I thought he was a wonderful man. Ted Kennedy, a wonderful man with all his flaws. Think he accidentally was responsible for drowning a girl, if you're going to be a nitpicker. Sadly. And there were so many. Somewhere along the line, their children came in, or their grandchildren, and they're just so frustrating to see. This is what happens, though. Ronald Reagan says we're only one generation away from losing our democracy. Matt has confirmed that Bob is a stepfather. Really? Where did he do that, Robin Roman? Matt looks like his dad. You mean Robert Wayne? You say he favors Jim Varney. Well, that's original. I love Jim Varney. He was good. Ernest. All those Ernest movies. Yeah. We lost him too young. He was known to be a really kind, warm individual. And Ernest goes to jail. Ernest goes to school. What else did Ernest do? But I never heard him confirm that it's a stepfather. I'd love to see where you got that. So that contradicts people, doesn't it? That contradicts people. Contradicts Sabrina. Unless we're going to say Sabrina is not, but her brother is a stepchild. And then we have to come to the next crazy part of this story. Did Willena Joyce divorce Robert Wayne Joyce to marry Pastor Bob Joyce? How dare I ask these obvious, to everybody that thinks about it, questions? It's really not that important. We got a world that, is very polarized. This war is not gonna, they call it a war, but it's gonna last a few weeks and that's it. We can totally cripple their capabilities. But then, of course, they have friends. Can anyone spell Hamas? Yeah, and they've already taken part. So there's friends, and they bombed. Saudi Arabia condemned the attack that we did, but I think they had to. The prince had to. And then what was their thanks for that? Iran sent a missile at their airport and damaged part of their airport. May have killed some people. I don't know. The prince wants to do business with the United States and what have you, but he felt that, he had to be a team player here in terms of, the Islamic faith. Yes, Ernest Jim Barney, he was funny. He was. Uh, and all of a sudden, like the crocodile hunter, he was just gone. And now Neil Sedaka doesn't feel good, goes to the hospital, and he's gone. But of course, he lived a pretty long life. I would like to make it to 86 because maybe by then there'd be a rapture and I wouldn't have to fall on the floor clutching my chest or lose my mind, which is another thing, I don't want to end up like Rosie O'Donnell doing videos that make no sense at all. I can't say that without telling you, if you go back to the 90s, I was a huge Rosie O'Donnell fan who wrote a biography on her. I did, which was never published. I waited. It takes me forever to do something. So by the time I was ready to possibly look for a publisher, her fame was going down, going down. Pull up, pull up, pull up. I couldn't stand to hear Omar screaming. Yeah, and I was trying to catch what she said, and it was hard to do that, Rashid. Oh, goodness. Another one. And then Presley, but she didn't show up. Thank God she didn't show up. And those goofy alternate things they went to with Joy Reid, they have no platform at all. It's just anything Trump's for, we're against. And he just keeps on winning and winning and winning and winning and winning and saying inappropriate things because that's what Trump says. But the funniest thing of the week, if we're going to be, it's funny, but it could be tragic. President Trump made sure he said this to the press more than once this week. I like Bill Clinton. I hate to see him being disposed like this. I don't like it at all. But I think he's a very good guy. And before you know it, there's Clinton saying, no, President Trump's a good guy. He's a good guy. I don't think that he knew what was going on. I don't think he did. What's that old saying? If you wash my back. You think that might have been pre-planned? Everybody does like Bill Clinton. I like him. Like him a lot more than I like Hillary. Just the way it is. I respected Hillary's stand on health insurance very much. So, there was a time when Hillary and Donald Trump and, of course, Bill Clinton were all good friends. They went to one of his weddings. One of his wives, I think it was probably Marla, went to his wedding. They were close, And at one of the prayer breakfasts, still not getting that right. One of his jokes was actually funny, and it made Hillary laugh because they were, competing against each other. And he says, well, people say nasty things about Hillary, but there's a whole other side of her. She can be very polite. Like in the hallway before the breakfast, she bumped into me and she said, pardon me. And Hillary thought that was hilarious. She thought that was hilarious. Then he got mean later on, which makes you cringe, The prayer breakfast, and you're gonna take a swipe? He doesn't quite get that, you know? That's right, yeah. You know what I mean, Vern? Yeah, that's the tagline, right. It was always Vern. You know what I mean, Vern? But other people are saying it. I just want to know where Thomas fits in, says Robin Roman. Well, he obviously is the brother of Matt, right? They look very much alike. Matt does the Wednesday Bible study, right? At the church. Seems like a very nice man. Don't know anything else about him. In the early pictures, I just see a young Sabrina and I see a young, did I see a young Matt? No, I'm thinking I've seen just Rob. I've just seen Sabrina, right? Did I see young Matt? No, I didn't. Scratch that. Those early pictures. See Sabrina. Then we see Sabrina's wedding picture, of course. The eyes look different. The eyes look different of the man in the tux. To make it even more wild, crazy, go nuts, we see another man in a tuxedo that looks a lot more like Pastor Bob Joyce at the same wedding. They're trying to drive us insane. They want us to go into the loony bin, I think. Oy. Elaine is consoling Rita. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the rich person says money doesn't mean anything to him. The only way to find out is to take it away. I think he enjoys very much paying it forward to people that need it, so he wouldn't be able to do that if he didn't have money. It's funny. I've heard pastors preach about money's not important. In fact, if you're a real intimate of God, He'll probably keep you poor, and then they'll start talking about their building fund and how you need to give sacrificially. How old is Matt Joyce? Good question. Do I know the answer to this? Have I ever heard the answer to this? He's in his 40s now. He's in his 40s. Do you have any potted meat? He said that? Ernest? Potted meat. Do you have any potted meat? You're making me think of the cheese sketch with Monty Python, you know? They've got listed, I don't know, 100 and some cheeses or something, and the guy is asking for one cheese after another, and he's got a different reply to each one, saying, "Oh, not today, sir. Oh, fresh out." He's got a million responses. Finally, of course, we learned there's no cheese at the cheese shop. That is John Cleese, and who else? The shorter guy. Can't think of his name. Brilliant comedy. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Anybody see the one in the fat suit where he's just eating himself into oblivion and they say, "Will you like a wafer for dessert?" Just one little wafer. He eats it and he explodes. How they did that, I don't know, but he explodes all over the walls. Yeah, those guys, great. Absolutely great. Hmm. 67 watching right now, 41 likes, 66. We lost somebody. Just like that, they took the train to the plane. Potted meat. No potted wheat was my funny take on Grey Poupon commercial. I used to love the Grey Poupon. The two Rolls Royces pulling up next to each other. Pardon me. Would you have some Grey Poupon? Like he's going to have it right there in the Rolls Royce, and he, of course, does. Yeah, Grey Poupon's good. It's kind of like horseradish, but it's good. It's a little bit more digestible than horseradish. My father liked horseradish. I remember that vaguely. We have a state election here in South Australia in March and a federal election next year. Can't believe a word of what the candidates say. Difficult to decide who to vote for. It's the same thing here in the States. It really is. I wonder if any of E's other children have been to the church. Yeah, right. No one's ever confirmed that Lisa Marie ever went there back in the day, and or that grandchild Riley. I mean, if this should be, I mean, probably no relation at all, right? No one's ever confirmed that. But then there's the love children, perhaps. I speak of possibilities. There's the love children, like, let's see, how many Presleys? We have Elvis Presley Jr., we have Deborah Presley. Nobody talks about them anymore. And who knows who else? Who knows who else? So I am interested in that Robin Roman. If you could point me in any kind of way to find out who wrote that, and are they credible? Are they a credible source? We don't have a voice of, we don't have Matt's voice saying that, right? Hmm. So I don't know how old Tom is, but I would say he's 38, maybe younger. I don't know. How old is Sabrina Joyce? I don't know that either. What did Sabrina Joyce say about Jack Willard? I want to know. I don't want to see just the second part. I don't know. See, I like to know because then I can learn what ticks her off. I mean, I have a general idea, but all I can tell you is here we are, kids or step kids or not really any relation at all, kids of the man who seems to have appeared in 2011, Pastor Bob Joyce, seems to, if I'm wrong, explain the whole thing to me, but of course they won't. So we're left hanging in the air, and that just leads to more and more speculation, which leads to more and more people buying the CDs, more and more people coming to the church, more and more people coming to the concerts, more people buying exclusive content on bobjoycemusic.com, which you should do. Go to bobjoycemusic.com. Yeah, I'd love to hear more information about what we can expect in the future and about those other two concerts, because the concert that is being done in Cabot, Maine. Why do I want to keep saying Maine? This is probably not even a Cabot, Maine, right? Cabot, Arkansas, is Sabrina's deal. If that's her church or not, I don't know. I know she does still come to Household of Faith from time to time, but she doesn't live in Benton anymore. I believe that's correct. So, who knows? I don't. If I missed your comment, I'm sorry. It was not intentional. Jack, I fell and broke my arm. I definitely missed that. Are you still here, Bayou Girl? I read that she left, and no, he doesn't even comment that I broke my arm. I need bubble wrap, LOL. Wow. I see the humor, but boy, that must have hurt, huh? So very sorry to hear that, Bayou Girl. Not good news at all. 55 watching right now as we wind down for a Saturday night and say goodbye to February. Get ready for March. It was emotionally difficult, but nothing like it was for the feral animals out there, That just bothers me because there's nothing worse than being out there in the freezing. There is probably something worse. Well, that's pretty close because it's constant. It's like hellfire always burning and you're in it, and that's, I won't say any more about that. September is a great month. I personally think, well, that's probably because it's your birthday. It's a great month for Karen. That's her birthday. but she's not anxious for another birthday. Once you get to be a certain age, you're not looking for another one. You want to just like I got 3 more weeks of being in my 60s. I'm in no hurry. I was in a hurry in January and February because it was just so depressing. And to know, the others are on the Jimmy Sturr cruise, Polka Sean and Polka Norma, going to places like Aruba. He's telling me the water is so bright and these little fishes are swimming by their feet, tickling their feet. And here I am in the worst winter we've had in this part of the Hudson Valley in 10 years, 8 years, something like that. Wasn't expecting that. The heating bill tripled. I had to use my space heater more than I usually use it. But, God provided a way. God provided a way, and that's all I should say. God is good all the time, even when I don't understand things. And in my life, compared to the horror stories I hear coming from other people, I've been pretty fortunate. I've received a lot more than my share of grace. I guess Trace Gallagher will be coming on next. It's not the regular Saturday crew. I feel bad that John Scott just got pushed out. I mean, he's a great anchor man. He should have had some time today. I hope he's on tomorrow. They probably will put him on tomorrow because they want a day off. Huh. Michael Savage has been going wild. All of a sudden, he loves President Trump again, and he's got an American flag behind him, and he's comparing him to General Patton and all that. But it wasn't too long ago. He was saying bad stuff. He goes back and forth. Grandma Becky, hi. Matt will be 47, really, in April. Sabrina will be 49 in November. Yeah. Well, look at that. She don't look it. She's young looking. And she is also like Pastor Bob Joyce, however they're related. She's a chameleon, but a lot of women are. They look different, they change up their look. And her current look is very nice. Very nice. She's no, I won't want to say anything about what she did that she looks nicer than ever. You can't win when you go into this area. I shut me mouth. I'll shut me mouth. Mine is September 12th. Okay, my daughter's is the 23rd. A lot of September babies, a lot of March babies too, But I think summer is big because what else you're going to do in January, Depends where you live, though. Totally just missed. Let's see, today is Saturday. So, yeah, I missed all 3 Jimmy Sturr, Florida gigs. Would have loved to have been down there. Never been to the Strawberry Festival. He did that Thursday in Plant City, 10:30 in the morning. They open up the Strawberry Festival every year. Oh, it's Aisha Say. U.S. Israel attack Iran. Operation Epic Fury continues. U.S. military bases operating near Iran. But they're just showing you where they are. There's one in Turkey, Qatar, or Qatar, if you prefer. There's a third way to pronounce it, too. So I think Tom Joyce puts the praise section up online every week. So what's going on with you, Grandma Becky? Message retracted. What's going on? Julia Joyce, 1982. Maybe Tom is Pastor. Maybe Tom is Pastor Bob's. I've thought of that. It's funny that you say that. But then again, I'm not sure of that at all, especially since he does look like Matt Joyce. He does look like Matt a lot. So I don't know. This is the most confusing story. Desiree Presley. Desiree. Now, what does she claim, Robin Roman? What does she claim, Desiree? How does she fit into this mix? Love child or what? Hi, Michael. Which Michael is that? This could get interesting. Hi, Michael. Where's Michael? Is this Michael Hembry are you talking about? I'm looking back. I can unintentionally miss people. Um, yeah, I don't see him, but you do. Where? I don't see him. Elaine Peterson. Oh, there he is. Okay, how's everyone? Hi, Michael. Welcome. I got a few pictures of Michael. He's one of our younger members, and he dresses kind of cool. Wears a nice hat, different hats, but he wears many hats. Um, his interests are not really the things I'm interested in, but I'm going to be 70 and what are you? You're 44 or something like that? You're young. So there you go. I agree on liking Kiss. That's about it. I am a Kiss fan, but Barry Manilow keeps having to push back his tour. See, I like Barry Manilow. shows you shows you we wouldn't have a lot to talk about there. And I don't think you're too sure about Bob Joyce, so and you know, as Karen tells me, put down your phone and pay attention. Even if we're watching Dark Shadows, she wants me to pay attention, which I understand, get off your phone so I don't need to get yelled at. I don't do much Facebook, just a little, just a little. They don't care at all about the Bob Joyce topic on my Facebook group, except, a few people, just a few, and then that's it. So you're 56. Well, you don't look it, pal. You're in good shape, and I'm surprised to hear that. Yeah, you don't look it at all. You could pass for much younger. Hmm, interesting. Yeah, some people don't look their age. I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to. Elaine, where are you and what's your weather? We've been warm in Denver. Just got home from a Harley ride. Really, Robin Roman? Wow. You be careful on that motorcycle. That's what I used to tell uh, what's his name, who just recovered from breaking his arm at work. Marty Greco. I'm so happy when I can get a name now. It's like I want to celebrate. He sold his Harley. See? Now it's time for you to sell yours, Robin. I'll be sending you footage to encourage you of such. No, it's up to you. Good night, everyone, says Katina from Katina and the Waves. I know it's Katrina. Thank you, Team SWAT, for checking in. Have a great day tomorrow. Today, Tom is younger than Matt Joyce. I thought he was older. I don't have Matt's age, do I? I have Sabrina and Tom's age. Interesting. Yes, look up Desiree Presley, Lucy D. Lucy D. Barden is Elvis X and has a very public book. Are you lonesome tonight? Oh, this story can't get any weirder. I'm drinking tea, spiked with vodka. Jack, with that honey you recommended, the one for the special trees in the Himalayan mountains, that one, or the other one? Because when I looked at the other one, which is the butterfly pea, that's PEA, butterfly pea flower honey, it it was questionable as to whether it would be. Definitely have to ask my doctor about it, whether it would be good to drink with, since I take Camzyos. You got to be very careful with Camzyos. See, very careful. And universally, on a lot of medications, the thing you don't want to take is grapefruit. It will mess with your blood pressure medicine. It'll mess with a whole bunch of medicines, and it's a hard no way with Camzyos, also known as mavacamten. What do you think about Priscilla being buried at Graceland? I don't really have a strong opinion. I'm not a Priscilla hater. I think that the Riley would have to make that decision because she's in the Presley bloodline and Priscilla is not, and they had been divorced for a long time. I would say probably no. I would say probably no, but I don't have a hard opinion on it, you know. But she's saying she's already got a spot, right? Yeah. I love my tea though, but I like it well, I'll put some honey in my chai tea, I will. So I'm using the other honey from the Himalayas. $37 a bottle, and Karen's been taking it too, so but all these hidden expenses came at me like as I said, 173 a month because I'm on Camzyos, and then trying to get some back debt caught up and other things. I'm not too wild about her. A lot of people would feel like you, Michael. We have a custom Harley. Trike. Oh, a trike. Well, it's a little safer. I feel a little better now. Do you ever watch Orange County Choppers? Paul Tuttle, and then it used to be Paul Jr. Now there's a new version, a new season of Orange County Choppers. Ever watch them? They would build trikes sometimes. And my husband is very safe and respectful riders for. We are respectful riders for years. It's not you I'm worried about. It's those XYZers, et cetera, et cetera. Thanks for the concern, prayer always. Okay, yeah, because I've known a number of people, known a number of people in my lifetime that are no longer with us. Think that Priscilla being buried at Graceland is blasphemy, says Nancy DeMarco. She's not going to mince words. She's not going to beat around the bush. And boy, I've heard this before. So yeah, you don't stand alone in your opinion. They already have all the burials allowed, really. Need special permission from the estate for another body. Uh-huh. Are all those graves, are they really occupied? The honey is expensive, $37 plus a bottle. That one? Talking about that one? Yeah. But supposedly they don't push this on the bottle or anything, but supposedly in mice, it took away their early Alzheimer's. Who knew that mice got early Alzheimer's? And how can they be sure in a world that's constantly changing? How can they? Joey Jones? No, it's not Joey Jones. He looks like him. Um, how can they be sure? Here's somebody new. Oh, that's you again, Hin 63. Redneck Ways, 1933. Are you still here? They were born in 33, Redneck Ways. What's the new Elvis movie called? Epic. Epic, right? Tammy Griffin. I'll see it when it gets to pay-per-view. Matt is 46, born April 1979. Huh. And his father is 73. I hope still with us. So there you go, Michael. I don't have a hard opinion on it, but Nancy DeMarco does, and she's not alone. Believe me, when I did a Priscilla video once, wow, I wasn't quite ready for how many people don't like her, but not everybody feels that way, so I don't have an opinion really. I do have an opinion on her allowing the abuse to go on between the French boyfriend and Lisa Marie Presley, which Riley Keough writes about, and I think they also took it from the Lisa Marie journals in this book right here. There's an update, right? Riley wrote an addendum. There's a new version with new material in it, correct? From Here to the Great Unknown. Lisa Marie Presley and Riley Keough, her daughter, who is a famed actress, director, and the owner of Graceland. So, no, when you hear something like that, you'd say, you pack your stuff and maybe you think about calling the cops, Have you seen the video that talks about Pastor Bob having two sons, one named Matt, of course, and one named, not Skutnik again. I don't want to talk about Skutnik again. And he lives in France, I know, and looks just like Elvis. I think I saw one picture of him. He didn't look like Elvis, but I don't want to talk about him again. He is on the Facebook, and I think still, and there's so many stories out there. Things are coming to mind, but he is. He does his thing. I do mine. I respect that he does his thing. Whatever. Manuka honey is in my daily cappuccino. Oh, you like a cappuccino, huh? Oh, why am I trying to do Scarface Al Pacino now? And snow covered with what? Ceylon cinnamon. Snow covered, did you say? Cinnamon, which is recommended for type 2 diabetes. Yeah. Something else, though, about cinnamon can be bad for you, whether it be the kidneys or whatever. Too much, especially, I'm talking about, not a little. There is Thomas W. Joyce that lives in Little Rock, who is 35 years old, and he used to live in Benton. Oh, isn't that weird, Tammy with an I. I thought he was the youngest. I have heard, obviously, that Sabrina lives in Little Rock. I think that's right. That I've heard that Robert Wayne Joyce lives in Little Rock. But then what about the guy in the little house in Benton? This story never stops being weird. No wonder it goes on year after year after year. Riley's book is a page turner. That's a good thing, right? You're not skipping pages. Yeah, no, it's good. Sabrina 48. I eat a lot of heart chili. Is that bad for me? Well, not the easiest thing to digest. Karen makes a great chili. And then once in a while, Andy doesn't want chili. He's very particular what he likes and what he doesn't like. But she makes a great chili, and that leads to some about chili. And I want it with beans and, some ground beef. And if you have chili, you're going to either have to have cornbread or you're going to have some buttered bread. It just, I can't not have it. But then again, we like to have it over white rice. Like to have our chili over white rice most of the time. Now, if I go to Wendy's, I'm not saying where's the white rice, and they make a decent chili, right? Right? Am I right? But if I have the white rice, I think, well, I can't be having the bread or the corn muffins because it's too much of that. Now I'm starving. You made me hungry now, Elaine. We had a very light dinner tonight, and I got on Brad's electronic scale, and I lost about 6, 7 pounds. So it's right by the heat that I adjust from time to time. Because when he goes out, I turn it down. Good night, Jack and family. So you fell. I hope you make a full recovery. First it was Marty, and now it's you. Howdy, Miss Carter. How are you coming in late? What were you up to tonight on a Saturday night? Saturday, Saturday. It's nice to have you here, Susan. Looks like we're losing. I'm out of my mind. Several ex-wives have already said it. I'm pretty sure I'm safe to sing because I have not heard Brad come in. No. He gifted Karen, well, his girlfriend did, a nice makeup case filled with makeups today. So that was nice. Elaine, do you like eggs? Who doesn't like eggs? Few people don't like eggs, but oh man, disaster at the ShopRite on the Dulcin Avenue this week. I guess it happened around 3 o'clock in the morning. The meat cases stopped working and nobody noticed. People are supposed to check the temperature and verify, and they didn't do it. So we go in Friday afternoon. They ain't got no meat. We're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars that they threw out because nobody checked the meat. And now people are coming in and they're mad at the cashiers because someone didn't put a big sign up saying, we ain't got no meat. They had some pork chops and stuff in the other counter. You might have found a few chicken cutlets and stuff like that. But they said they would hope to have it up by Sunday. The butchers weren't there. They had no place to put the meat, so they weren't there. And they lost thousands of dollars of meat on Friday. Hello, Jack from Southern Ontario, Canada. Hi, hope you are well tonight. Snowing here again. Yeah, we might get an inch here. Right now it's 31 and clear. What are they saying? Clear throughout the night. Yeah, we're going to see a band. Oh, no. I hate when I mess with things. We go back to live stream. Oh, I got scared there. We're supposed to see a band tomorrow, but Kent's tummy now is not the best. And, I'm not going to be any kind of an influence that says, oh, we got to go. We haven't seen him in a long time. She doesn't feel well. She doesn't feel well. And I'm not going to go by myself. But I was kind of looking forward to seeing these guys because it's been years since we saw them. Hello, Jack from Southern Ontario. Yeah. Oh, spring. It can't come fast enough for me, Carol Cook. Today was pretty good. We hit the lower 50s and sunshine. It's great when you have the sunshine and it's not terribly windy, I eat a lot of eggs and mostly meat. That's pretty much it. Well, that'll keep you thin. You're getting your protein, but are you getting your other needs taken care of? Oh, Elaine. Yeah, it's no fun. But if you have friends waiting for you there, that helps, Yeah, eggs are great for you. That's right, Robin Roman. They've tried to talk against, cholesterol, but no. I eat 4 every morning, and my cholesterol is fantastic. Yeah. But do you eat the devil dogs? You don't, see, right? You don't. Well, I've been staying on. We was up in the 70s. You mean, are you saying we stayed awake a lot in the 70s? You were so young in the 70s. Well, not that young. Oh, you're right. Not that young. Yeah, you were. Let's see. I was 16 in 1972. So you were much less than that. were very young. Jack looked up at a photo of Pastor Bob with children, and Tom definitely looks different. You think he looks different than Matt, Joyce? I always saw a resemblance there. Yeah, Tom does not look like Pastor Bob, Joyce. I don't think any of them do, to be honest with you. Hey, that rhymes. I'm a poet and don't even know it. You were up in the 70s where you live? I forget now where you live, Michael. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. Be glorious. I tend to not listen to as many Jimmy Sturr polka shows in the winter because I like doing it in the gazebo or in the car. And I haven't had the opportunity much, haven't had it at all. I haven't worn most winters, most past winters, there would be a couple of days where I could wear and I would do it and go out because it's rare. Not one day this year, not one day. Oh, the shorts, they're out there, the people that wear them in 14 degrees, the Fetterman wore a nice suit for the State of the Union, though. He was respectful, and I'm very happy. He turned out to be a blessing in disguise, but it's definitely time to become a Republican because we need the numbers. We need them. Trying to drop weight. The thing is you just realize how much you use food as a comfort, whether you feel good or bad. If you feel good, you're using it to celebrate. I mean, I'll tell you, if I started on this, the feeling I get when Karen and I go down to Carvel, sometimes on Wednesday, because Wednesday is Sunday at Carvel, 2 for $1, and they're expensive, like $7 and change each for a large. So if you can get 2 for that, hey, you're saving some money there. Oh, their hot fudge sundae blows Dairy Queen away, man. Blows them away. It's the most milkiest, creamiest vanilla ice cream, and the hot fudge, and then the whipped cream and the cherry. Oh, you just feel everything's right with the world when you forget the fact that you have major problems that you need to work on while you're enjoying your Carvel hot fudge sundae. Oh, yes. Athens, Tennessee. That's right. Not Athens, Georgia for Michael Hembry. I remember now. 2 egg burritos with turmeric, organic olive oil for dipping. Well, that sounds perfect. Yes. That's really good. Turmeric is very good for you. Very good for you. Organic olive oil, despite what Dr. Reese says, olive oil is good for you. He's just making the point it's got to be fresh. Yeah, I mean, it's the same with omega-3. Don't buy the cheap stuff. You could be ingesting rancid oil, which is no good for you at all. Certainly not a plus. Sammy, we haven't seen you in a dog's age. You haven't been on the thread. Post by Johnny Midnight. He wants me to see something. Hello, Sammy. I remember. It's been a while. People come and go. You probably noticed that here, that there's certain people that you might expect to be here. I'm not talking about the guys that are just simply taking a break, like the Tennessee Titan. Richard Lyon comes on. It's spotty now, but he comes on from time to time. And we all know that Vinnie Maru is dealing with issues, so you got to pray for Vinnie Maru. You got to pray for Brenda Noyce. You got to pray for Chris Starry. And there are people that have had losses in their families, that we tell you about. And Carolyn Mullins. with dementia. So that's just some of the people. Ted Richards, we haven't heard from in a dog's age, but look, there's Johnny Midnight. Reminds me of Dr. Johnny Fever. Howard Hessman, he left us for a while. He's been gone for a while now, what I'm saying. So hello, Sam Semi. You never know who will pop up. Back we go to the live stream. All right, let's check out the Word of God, shall we? I got kitties to do their midnight feeding. They are spoiled. Got to watch the mama. She'll steal everybody's food. Suki Forbes. Oh, boy. Poor little Millicent, waits for her turn. And by the time it's her turn, if you're not careful, there ain't nothing left. Then I got to put more down because I feel bad. And then I got to try to do this little dance to make sure Millicent gets fed. Acts chapter 2 in the NIV, the Holy Spirit comes at Pentecost. When the day of Pentecost came, they were all together in one place. Suddenly, a sound like the blowing of a violent wind came from heaven and filled the whole house where they were sitting. They saw what seemed to be tongues of fire that separated and came to rest on each of them. All of them were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in other tongues as the Spirit enabled them. Now they were staying in Jerusalem, God-fearing Jews from every nation under heaven. When they heard this sound, a crowd came together in bewilderment because each one heard them speaking in his own language. Utterly amazed, they asked, "Are not all these men who are speaking Galileans? Then how is it that each of us hears them in his own native tongue?" Parthians, Medes, and Emamites, residents of Mesopotamia, Judea, Pontus, and Asia, etc., and all the parts of Liba near Cyrene, visitors from Rome, both Jews and converts to Judaism. Some, however, made fun of them and said they have had too much wine. Then Peter stood up with the 11, raised his voice, and addressed the crowd. "Fellow Jews and all of you who live in Jerusalem, let me explain this to you. Listen carefully to what I say. These men are not drunk as you suppose. It's only 9 a.m. No, this is what was spoken by the prophet Joel. In the last days, God says, I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your young men will see visions, or in the case of Pastor Bob, your old men will dream dreams. Even on my servants, both men and women, I will pour out my spirit in these days, and they will prophesy. Part of Acts chapter 2. Acts chapter 2. Well, we're at 2 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Teresa Panel just got home from seeing Epic with my granddoll. Loved every minute of the movie. That's what people were saying. Elaine, the hotter the chili, the better. Oh boy, that'll cause your tummy some difficulties, perhaps. Of course, I like a little spicy Mexican food, but we don't get that too often. And I do eat some salads. Well, that's good. That's good. Still 60 watching right now. Trying to give people a little bit of time before we sign off here in a minute or two. Trump striking Iran is crucial for national security. I believe that absolutely. And good things can come from it, but you never know what the other enemies of America will do. That's true. War is hell. Tried to negotiate, but you couldn't trust them anyway, so it wouldn't have worked. Well, seems to be slowing down. Good night, Michael. Good night, everybody here. It's been fun being with you for Worldwide Ramblings for the last day of February, the 28th. Here comes March. I'm ready for it. I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready. Night to all the Aussie people, too. So big God bless you. Make it a good March. Make it a good March. Can't wait to feel that warm sunshine again. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And 3 weeks left of being in my 60s. I can still say I'm in my 60s. Have a great Sunday. Big God bless you. Pray for America. It's tense times, but I think we have a very capable leader and one heck of a great cabinet and one great party and one not so much. Bye-bye for now.